Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today, folks, excited to share with you yet another RGMT automatic watch. Let's check it out. So let's not even wait before showing you the goods. So here is the box, of course. This is the closest thing you're going to get to an unboxing on this channel. I'm too impatient to wait to film. When I get this stuff, I rip this open like a kid on Christmas morning. So the watch addiction, is real. All right, so I've said in many videos, RGMT is a company underneath Dartmouth Brands. If you've never heard of Dartmouth Brands, you should be familiar with brands like Ballast, Spinnaker. Brands such as those are under the Dartmouth brand. So you know you're getting a company who's very well versed in the watch community, and you know you're gonna get, like I said, with anything else that people review on YouTube. All kinds of people come out the woodwork to not only review things, but to also, you know, comment on things. So remember, quality, value, all this is very subjective. I can tell you the objective things, and what I can tell you that the RGMT quality is exceptional. They feel like real, I hate to use this word, but tool watches is a word we hear in the watch community. And basically, it just, it just means a watch you can actually, I know you can wear them all, but, and I'm not saying you can't wear the really pretty ones, right? But these watches they're almost designed for abuse, They're bold, they're big, they're tough. And again, I don't say that as if this is the only brand that does it. There's lots of brands who make a high quality, very tough watch, but this has a feel of a watch that you would actually want to throw on your wrist and go diving with. It just has the feel, if you've ever feel brands like Doxa and Aquadive, brands like that are just known for being like real, real work watches. It's the kind of watch that the best way I can describe it is, I don't want to compare it to Invicta, but I'm going to. When I can look at an Invicta watch, there is that level of quality, the same level of quality. But Invicta has a lot more pizzazz and not really, there's more design aspects on a lot of their watches, right? Which sometimes gives a perception that, that they're not meant for actual real work, Something like this, though, it just has a very robust feel that, in all honesty, even when I feel a lot of the Invicta watches, as great as they are, the Aragons, I'm not downplaying the Invicta at all, this just feels like something that I really don't have to take off. And again, I'm not saying that you should feel that about, Invicta or any other brand, but these just feel extremely robust. Again, no more than the other ones, but it's just their design, the simplicity of these watches. They're very tough, and if you've ever held brands like Aquadive, like Doxa, like some of these micro brands like Delta T, they just feel very robust. Like you could just grind this thing across like a rock, and of course you're gonna scratch stuff, but they just feel very robust and tough. That's the best way to describe it. So I hope that makes sense. So let's crack it open now. RGMT, I love that this company, and it's not just RGMT, but a lot of their other brands under their name, they use very nice quality dive cases, right? These are very similar to what you're gonna get from like a Harbor Freight, a Pelican style case, or the Pelican cases themselves. They're not like some of the other ones I've seen that are like faux, like they're like fake dive cases. If you drop it on the ground, you're gonna crack it. This is made of some sort of plastic material that definitely has give to it. You can throw this down the street. It's not, you're gonna scratch it, but you're not gonna break it. Like, it has a little bit of give to it. So I love these. I mentioned it many times for boating. I'll bring something like this. I'll put my cell phone in there, my battery charger in here, and just in case we had an issue, at least our electronics are gonna be protected. And I love the brick red on this. I mean, we always see them, Invicta does the same thing, but Invicta's cases, they're single dive cases. I wish Invicta did more of this size watches. The Invicta, you get the 3 slot, it is enormous. Like, it doesn't have to be that big. This, a lot more practical. Crack it open, and there, oh no, oh no. So this one is called the Ohio. I'm not sure where the inspiration came from the name of that. It is kind of a little bit of a confusing name to me, but there probably is a reason. I was going to go ahead and click one of the watches on their website. It just says it's a remarkable timepiece. It almost has an indestructible build. Yep, that's really the best way of describing this. Yet somehow manages to accommodate its own delicate or dedicated purpose as a wearable, functional, yet supreme robust timepiece. Again, that's their sales pitch. But I'll tell you, it is robust. And I've used that word time and time again to describe this brand. At least for the 2 that I've reviewed already so far, or 3 I've reviewed. They are very, is it 3 or 2? I'm drawing a blank. No, it is 3. It's Christmas over here. Kid on Christmas morning doesn't remember how many gifts he gets. So just, I mean, they all have this very robust feeling. Now there are other watches that you're going to see on this channel from this company, and you know, I hope that each one has this same vibe. It's pretty incredible. I mean, I'm not going to lie. This to me kind of gives me, for you Invicta guys who are watching me, it gives me kind of a Hydromax kind of feel. It just has this beef that the other ones don't have. So, all right. So what do you get? You get the push bar remover, or the spring bar remover, and the sizing tool. Again, these are kind of useless in my opinion, because if you're going to be using a jeweler's hammer to tap out the pins, you're going to bend over the fork, right? So maybe that's just for like the micro adjustment, not sure, but hey, so cool to give it to you. You get your instruction card and manual and everything. I'm not going to waste my time showing you that. You do get, in this particular for this particular watch, you do get a, so it seems like silicone. So if it's isofrane, it has like a vanilla kind of smell to it. This just seems like a standard orange strap. Pretty cool. You guys know I'm a huge orange fan when it comes to dive watches. Kind of cool. They give you the screwdrivers. This watch does have screws holding the links together on the band, as opposed to just like friction pins. So that's pretty cool. I wish they gave you an extra screw. I dropped one, so I can't find it. But that's okay. I took out 4 links, so not a big deal. Let me put this back here. And now let's get to what you guys came here to see. All right, so let me get this out of the way here. Now, originally, when my contact at the company emailed me and said, hey, we want to send this one next, they had pictured the all-black face. On their website, this one is not actually listed, which is, again, RGMT, you got to step up the website, get it up to date, because this is beautiful. They do make several different variations. From what I can tell on their website, if we include this one, we have 9 different variations. There might be more that they make that just aren't listed here. You have an all-black tactical version. You have a black with like white indices and white hands. You have the silver with the gray, and they refer to that one as gray. The one they were going to send me is the black bezel, black face with yellow and red accents. They have the same watch with the yellow accents, a green, a blue, and then a black. Honestly, I'm really glad that they went ahead and just sent me what they thought I'd like in this one here. So I love the orange. It is absolutely stunning. And orange to me, you know, I know a lot of people said, you know, the best color to see underwater. I've had guys comment before, yellow is better. I've always seen websites and posting boards always list that orange is the best, most visible color to see underneath the water. I'm not a diver, so I don't know, but I like orange because it just yells dive watch. And I think Doxa had a lot to do with making that color so, I guess, so recognizable as a dive watch. I love it. Ever since I saw the first Doxa, or when I first discovered Doxa, I was like, man, I love that orange. And since then, I've accumulated several different orange face watches in my collection. They're just so, I mean, nothing screams diver like orange. Really cool. I do have a black unidirectional rotating bezel, helium release valve on the side. Just a very robust looking case. I mean, beautiful construction on the band. Again, not any more or less than any of the other RGMT watches. This is just a robust watch. I mean, look at the thickness on that case. Again, not the most massive of watches when you compare them to a lot of the oversized pieces out there. They say that this is a 24 millimeter stainless steel bracelet. This is 316 stainless steel. Again, when we talk about those check boxes, this checks all those boxes. I believe this is a sapphire lens with anti-reflective coating. Yep, there it is, sapphire lens. 300 ATMs of water resistance, or 3,000 meters. Just incredible. Just a deep diver, and it just looks so tough and aggressive. And what's really interesting about this watch too is, you know, when we look at some of the other large dive watches, Invicta, Aragon, those companies, you know, when we see a watch that's 20.2 millimeters thick, like we expect that from a big, huge 55mm watch, a 50mm watch. We don't really expect that from a 45mm case. So I love the way that this watch is just as robust in thickness, just as it is, you know, I mean, 45mm is not a small case by any means, but you know, for us guys who like the big oversized watches, it's you know, it's not huge, but it's still a big watch, and I just love how thick it is, and I think it's really cool because I don't have anything in my collection. Now I do. That's you know, more of a standard size watch. We say that loosely again because 46 is pretty large, but more of a standard size watch. But being this thick and robust, it's absolutely incredible. I love the wrist presence on this. And again, this is one of these watches where, you know, I don't always wear the huge oversized watches. This is cool because of all the watches I have in my collection, this is just, you're more closer to your mid-size watch, but you have the thickness, you have that wrist presence, and it is just awesome. Screw down crown, of course, I'll mention that. Bezel action, I mean, nice ratcheting bezel, you know, just, it's what you expect on a nice quality watch. Beautiful case on this. I love how they've done kind of almost like a coin-edged case back. I mean, really, it just adds a little bit from the side. You get such a tall presence on the wrist. When you look at it from the side, you have that cool kind of coin edge right around the case back. I haven't seen that really on too many watches. They generally are flat or just kind of plain. So I really like that. RGMT logo, short and sweet on the side. You do have it on the clasp, RGMT. And this is again, these are screwed links or screws holding the links on. They give you the 2 screwdrivers. You have 3 micro adjustments, and again, all 3/16 stainless steel. And we still got the plastic on this mofo too. We're gonna have to take that off. I don't even wait. I do like size it and throw it on my wrist, like plastic hanging off and everything. So just how I am. Pretty nice Cyclops as well. Actually, very functional. It's not like some of the other Cyclops where it doesn't really illuminate or magnify the day of the month window all that much. This does. And what's really cool about this, I like that they did black indices that are circled or edged in that lume. The lume on these particular watches, the RGMT watches, is pretty darn good. I like to compare it with if you've watched my video on the Steel Dive, on Aqua Dive. It's definitely, again, they need to list what kind of lume they're using, but it's great. It's great. I two-timed that one. It's great. It's great. It's so great. As far as the movement, again, here's a checkbox for you. This one is powered by a Japanese automatic 3-hand with date. The movement, to the best of my knowledge, is a Miyota. I think it's the 8223, if I remember correctly, based on somewhere I read that. 24-month warranty. I highly doubt you'll need it. This one does have the automatic helium release valve. It is just a beefy, robust watch. I mean, that's, for lack of a better terms, the best way I can describe this. And again, I love the orange color. Orange may not be your thing, and be honest with you, like I always am, when I took it out of the box, for some reason I thought there was like a Stormtrooper version with a white face and black bezel. And I unwrapped it and I was like, there was a slight disappointment there for a second because they just sent me one of their other versions in the same color combination. Different watch, but orange face, black bezel. And I was like, oh man, I thought they sent me the exact same watch, accidentally sent 2 of them, right? But it was this watch. And after having it and taking it out, upon looking at it for 2 seconds, I was like, yep, they made the right choice. It is awesome. I mean, absolutely awesome. So price point on this here, you're looking at about $750 depending on where you buy it. Again, if you go to their website, a lot of their watches are sold out. So, not sure how I got my hands on one, but they were nice enough to send it and send their watches to me, which is fantastic because this is, you know, there is so much misinformation in the watch community, in the watch world. You know, guys, it doesn't matter like where you hear it. Like sometimes you'll see this brand on like Shop HQ and some of the home shopping networks. People try to convince others in the watch community that like they're just hard selling you these watches and that they're just like crummy shitter watches. And I'm sorry to, it's unprofessional if we use that term, especially dealing with, working with a company, but I got to keep it real like I'm always going to do with you guys, is that there, in my opinion, there is so many amazing watches out there. You don't have to spend $10,000 to get an exceptional watch. You don't have to spend $2,000. This watch is every bit as robust, beefy, and of super high quality as any of the micro brand companies out there. Doxa, Aqua Dive, I mean, you name it. This watch can hold its own with any of those well-respected watch companies, you know. And I really hope that in time that companies like this, you know, like anything, it does take time, and it does take people being honest about the quality that you're getting. And that's why you know, you guys may laugh at me or make fun of me or whatever it may be every time I put up a video ranting about Rolex or ranting about luxury brands. But people need to know that you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get the quality. You just don't. A watch like this, I mean, you could put this watch up against any brand and you're going to be impressed. I mean, it's just the way it is. Now, if you're going to take this watch and put it under a macro lens, remember, this is subjective. You're going to be like, oh, well, you look at it under a macro lens and look at the fine finishing of like a Rolex or something like this. Yeah, you might look at the hands on a Rolex and say, oh, well, look, there's no grain at all to it. It's very super finely polished. But that has nothing to do with quality. That just has to do with the amount of time that went in, because they seem to think that that's something you know, that's important to the people buying their watches, that it looks nice under a macro lens, right? To the real world, to us folks living in like the real world and not fantasy land, that's not important. What we want is good quality, good value, good looks, and a robust build. And this checks all the boxes. You got that well-respected Miyota movement, you got a sapphire crystal, you got great bezel action, you got high-quality components on this, you know, super robust. This is something that, you know, I'll be honest with you, some of the watches I have, like if I were to go dropping one of my Sterling watches, right, I'd be worried, oh shoot, you know, did I damage it, you know, because it's just a different kind of watch. If I were to drop this in the concrete, of course I would still think that, I'd still be worried about it, but I know that something like this is not going to become damaged. This is going to hit the ground and it's going to be like, you know what? Like, it's the quality. If you had this in your hands, you're going to feel the build quality, and it's just exceptional. That's about it. Oh, a dual push button deploying clasp, again, with a safety lock. I like the fact they do that on these. You don't see that on every brand. So without further ado, let's go ahead and throw it on the wrist. Now, I am about 5'7.5". I weigh about 185 pounds. I have a 7-inch wrist. This is what it looks like on a guy my size, my height, my weight. This one here I am wearing a little snugger than I normally do, just because it is such a heavy watch. They don't list the weight on here. I don't have the weight, but it's definitely not the kind of watch that if you're used to wearing like very lightweight dressed watches, you will feel the weight on this. This kind of actually reminds me of the first time my buddy purchased one of the Baume & Mercier's. I think I'm saying that right. It was called the Baume, and he paid, I think, $3,500 for it. At the time, I was like, even now, I'm like, why would you spend that on a watch? But I get it now. It was a nice quality watch, but no nicer than this, I'll tell you right now. And this just has that beefy wrist presence, you know. I mean, just stunning. I'll tell you, it's just funny because, again, I'll be honest with you about something else too. When I look at watches, when I get watches to review by whatever company, you know, I'm always happy to get them, you know. But naturally, who wouldn't be? But, you know, there are companies out there, when I look at brands like Swole, right, and Diesel, they're nice, they're not bad, right? But to me, there's a level of quality and build that you just don't get in a lot of brands, right? Like when you look at your Fossil watches, your designer style watches. What's another company I reviewed in the past? It was I can't think. It was more of like a designer brand. It's, like you'd find in Zoomies. Like we look at Nixon watches, brands like that. Again, the Fossil. What else we got? Diesel said Diesel. You know, brands such as those, right? It's a nice quality watch. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not a piece of junk. You know, you feel, you look at it, you wear it, it's good, you like it. You know, absolutely, there's definitely a mark for that. But there is when I first discovered this brand, or this company reached out and they said, hey, we have this line, my first impression was, all right, it's going to be your standard designer style quality watch. I didn't really expect micro brand quality, and with this you're getting that Delta T quality, you're getting that Invicta quality, you're getting that Aragon quality. You know, I also even put this a little bit above like my Bulova Precision, or that's kind of leaning a little bit more towards like dressy, but it's still a big robust watch. This, again, if you get your hands on this, you're going to know what I'm talking about. It's just a beefy watch. So that's it, guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video, see what it looks like on the wrist. Absolutely stunning. I encourage you to click the link in the description, check out what they offer. And, you know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that after reviewing 3 watches, I think you're going to get the same quality with all of them. But we'll see. Time will tell. If there's ever something they send me that I'm like, all right, this is lacking, I'm going to let you guys know. But so far, so good. Stunning piece. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and take care.